Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be looking at this. It's a 2016 Lexus IS. I think it's a 200 model series. Nonetheless, it was brought to us to check and inspect a bunch of lights on the dash. Alright, as far as the lights that we've got, again, so we've got, looks like ABS, traction, the triangle, so on and so forth. So let's do a full system scan on this, and let's see what codes we got. Alright, so we're done with that. Let's take a look at the report and see what codes we've got listed. So ABS control unit, let's see, ECM, AV communication, 0 point. I'm not too sure what that one's about. This is probably the one they were talking about as far as quote unquote programming, so they see about a calibration issue there. So let's see. False cruise control, lost gateway module. So looks like that's all the codes there. So we're seeing a let's see, this guy here about, let's see, front distance range sensor, lost communication, the lost communication with gateway, and these are current. This is going to be related to, back up to the ABS, so these codes. So I'll have to look up, see what some of these are related to. Before that, I'm going to take and do a visual inspection. So I can definitely tell that there's been some body work done. Popped the hood and we saw a lot of the Bondo dust on here. So clearly some front end work's been done. And what I looked at first was down here. So here is the either a radar or the range sensor, and there's been some wiring work done here. And being that on this side of the harness all the wires are black, it might be easy to confuse where the wires go. So I'm gonna have to look up the wiring diagrams. Hopefully I could find some at the correct pinouts and try to check and see if hopefully we've got something wired wrong. So I want to get this figured out first and then see if some code's clear, and then try to do that calibration and kind of go from there. Okay, so I went and looked up the diagram, and I just simply punched in radar and was looking for something to come up, and I found this. It's called, let's see, millimeter wave radar sensor assembly. And the first thing I want to do is count the number of wires. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to just confirm, see if we are looking at the same thing. So 3 and 2 there. So that must be bus wires because they're twisted. And circuit wise, looks like it's simple enough. We've got one power going into pin 5. We've got sensor ground, and it's actually brown. My printer's ink is low. So, and this one's actually green. So green on pin 5's power. Pin 1 is brown, and it's the ground. And then, so pin 10 is blue. And then 2 and 3 are the bus wires, which are green and black. So we're gonna try to confirm the wiring and double check, see how they got soldered back together. Okay, so first thing that we want to check is go across pins 1 and 5. That's power and ground. And we're checking with the meter for right now. If we need to load test, we'll load test, but we're just trying to identify and see, just, start at a starting point. So we're checking power and ground. Key it up. And there we go. So if you see, we're across 1 and 5, and we're not in there deep. We're not spreading the pins. So there is our battery voltage, so that's good.
So
okay, so right now we're gonna go, since we know our ground is good, we're just gonna double check for bus activity. We haven't checked the pins yet, so we're just gonna tap into 2 and 3, see if that is bus activity.
Want to do 2 first?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
So
2.
pin 2, okay, 3 volts. And then pin 3 is 1/8. So voltage levels look sort of rightish, maybe, for bus activity. We're going to check if the bus pins are going to the correct location based off of wire colors. Okay, so what we ended up finding is, so our green bus over here should be pin 2, but it's actually going into pin 3. So we're gonna flip-flop the 2 bus lines and see if we get communication back up. Okay, so we flip-flop those wires. Obviously we're plugged in. Let's see if we can clear some of these codes. Okay, keys on. Let's quick delete. Okay, so right away the radar, range sensor, whatever codes went away, and all we have left is this one here, the ECM EV communication problem. Even that calibration code in ABS went away. So let me search this code, but it looks like we're almost there. Let's just double check. So yeah, we're still gonna have a bunch of the ABS lights on due to this. So let me go in here. Alright, sometimes you get a little more info in here, but alright, so let's go and see what these are about. Alright, so actually off camera, unfortunately, but I'll explain. Here in special function, I did go to the, let's see, test mode is basically where it calibrates itself. So it did end up needing the calibration deal. And all you got to do is walk through the process. I'm not going to do it again, but you clearly see those lights off. Let's see, let's get out of this, back out, and then just to show you, the trouble codes are gone. So the radar being messed up, not communicating properly, obviously throws the ABS into a funky mode, and it had that hard fault until you perform the ABS calibration. So with that, that is all on this one. Kind of simple once figuring out the wiring issue, and then no more light. So we'll get this wrapped up and return to the customer.